I'm here at the Bay Athletic Club with Kelly Bolin. Today, Kelly is going to talk to us a little bit about the benefits of yoga.
Absolutely. There's so many benefits to yoga, and obviously one that many people think of right off the bat is flexibility. Of course, flexibility is great. It stretches your muscles, but it also increases blood flow through your muscles and through your organs. So that's going to help with your circulation system, but also with digestion. So you're getting all of that extra blood flow into nooks and crannies, if you will, that maybe it wouldn't normally be able to get as vasculated or blood flow wise. There's lots of other benefits that would include like stress relief. A lot of people think,
relaxing.
Yeah, exactly. So stress definitely part of our everyday life, and with regular yoga practice, especially regular yoga practice, you can kind of have the ability to deal with things better. So you're taking the energy that you put out on the mat, and then you're able to translate that into everyday life, so that when stress occurs, you can think back to that time that you were in practice on your mat and take yourself there again. So definitely helps with stress and anxiety.
And there's a lot of breathing in yoga, right? And is that one of the keys to the stress relieving?
Definitely. Deep breaths are so beneficial. A lot of times when we just, like you and I are talking right now, we're only using a small capacity of our lungs. And in yoga, we're instructed to take a deep breath down into your belly. So you're using your diaphragm. So you're using a diaphragmatic breath. And that is so good for your stress relief, for your whole body in general. You get to kind of give your lungs a workout.
And is yoga beneficial for all ages? Is it something that anyone can do?
Definitely. People can start at any age. There's just different modifications that we can offer you in yoga class. Not every yoga class is standing on your head. So there's so many different poses.
I don't think I can do that.
Not many can. It's definitely it's one that you would work into, and that's an advanced level class. Most classes, especially here at Bay Athletic Club, are for all levels: beginners, intermediate, and advanced. So if you'd like, I can show you a few yoga poses.
All right, that's good.
Okay, Kelsey, the first pose that we want to go through is cat and cow. It's a wonderful flowing pose, and it starts in all fours. So you're going to start on your knees and hands, making sure that your hands are wide and right underneath your shoulders. Your back is flat and neutral. From here, you're going to keep your gaze down at your mat, and then like you're pulling your belly button up through your organs, through your spine, you're going to lift it up to the sky, rounding the upper back.
I assume this is the cat part?
This is the cat, yep. And then we're going to flip it back in reverse, bringing the belly down, lifting the head up. Your focus is up to the sky. Good. And this is a wonderful pose to flow through. Think about doing 10 breaths, flowing in, breathing in as the head lifts, and exhale as the spine rounds. You're massaging your spine gently. You're really opening the lower back, getting some blood flow. This is a wonderful pose to warm up to.
All right.
So good, very good.
Have I perfected it?
Yes, you have. Very nice job. The second pose it's one variation on an inversion. So inversion is any pose where your head is below your hips. It's wonderful for the stress relief, and they think it's because, you know, when you're standing up, gravity is taking everything down away from your head. In an inversion, your blood flow is flipped, and gravity is taking all the blood flow towards your brain. So in a sense, you're flipping everything around, taking all that stress from the outside world and flipping it on its head, if you will. So we're going to do the same thing to you.
Okay.
Downward facing dog. You're going to start in all fours, tuck your toes under, and then push your hips up to the sky, straightening your legs. Oh, very good. So your back is nice and flat. There's now a round in the spine. And then your hip bones, your tailbone is lifting up to the sky, and then we're going to let your heels drop down into the mat. Oh, very good. She'll feel a stretch through the back of her legs.
Yes.
Good. And in this pose, it's really beneficial to think about breathing deep breaths in and out, stretching the chest down as you do so. So inversion, downward facing dog.
And how long would you suggest to hold that for?
I would say 10 breaths. Start with 5 if it's your first time. It can be a little bit difficult sometimes for people to balance on their hands in that way. Just we're not used to it, but that's also a good thing to practice.
All right.
We're not used to.
And pose 3.
And pose 3 is one of my favorites. It's the single pigeon pose. Funny name, but so beneficial to stretching your hips.
I'm noticing a lot of animal names through these yoga poses.
Absolutely. In the way that they named poses, they looked around in the natural world and saw the animals, the trees, things in nature.
And animals always stretch before they move.
They do. They do downward facing dog, and they also do an upward dog, but we won't go there today. So yes, looking around in nature, they found the benefits that, dogs were doing it, trees were standing up tall. Why not do some poses like that? This last one is great for opening, stretching your hips, so you can get some extra blood flow. In America, a lot of us sit down for our jobs, and that can lead to tightness in our lower bodies. So this is a wonderful stretch. It's going to help you feel so good, move better, and just generally, it's very relaxing. So let's try it from downward facing dog.
Do you want me to do that?
Yeah, yep. So right from downward facing dog, you're going to take your right knee and drive it forward between your hands as best that you can. Then slide that back leg straight back as far as you can, and then push through your palms, lifting your shoulders over your hips. Good, gaze is focused and forward. And then you're trying to sit down into that pose, but not necessarily laying on that right hip. You want to keep the right hip elevated. So beginners want to make sure they have a good lift underneath that right hip. And then as you advance, you can get your back further and further back. And eventually, there's a variation where you're bending that back leg. But we don't want to go there until we're more advanced. Cool.
I can definitely feel it stretching in my hip.
Absolutely.
All right, well, thank you, Kelly. So now you know 3 simple yoga poses that are very relaxing that you can try in your own home.